Hi and welcome back. In this video we're looking at argument unpacking. We've looked at tuple destructuring, and this is sort of fairly related. It's not the same thing by any means, but it's sort of a shorthand to do things. Given the code that we've got here on the left, which should look familiar, is the one we wrote a couple of videos ago, we've got our accounts, and we've got a function to add balance to an account. Let's call the add balance function many times. Imagine we've got a list of transactions like this list I've just pasted here. So it's a list of tuples. This one says the amount of change that happened, and this one to which account it happened. So let's go over these transactions. I'm just going to press enter a few times here to give you a bit more space. And let's say we wanted to add all of these transactions to our accounts. What could we do? For t in transactions, add balance, t0, oh, sorry, forgot the bracket, t0, t1, and that's it. So as you can see, what this will do is, of course, for every transaction which is a tuple, it'll call t0 and t1, the amount and the name, and pass it to add balance, which it takes in the amount and the name of the account and is going to update it. Now, we're doing something very, very specific here, which is a really popular thing to do, in fact. And that is that we're getting an iterable, like this tuple here, and each element of the tuple, in this case 2 elements, we're passing them as arguments to a function. Notice how we're passing the first argument, the argument with index 0, to our function at t0 as the first argument. So the first argument of the function is also the first element of the tuple. The second argument of the function is also the second element of the tuple, and so forth. So this is a very popular thing to do. Each element of the tuple going to an argument of a function. So Python gives us a shorthand. Instead of this, we can do *t. And what that does is that unpacks the iterable into arguments. So *t will pass each element of t as a separate argument to the function. So t0, the amount, will go to the amount. t1, checking, will go to the name. If we had more elements here, they would go to the subsequent parameters as well. And of course, we only have two elements, 2 parameters. So this is called argument unpacking, and this asterisk here is the unpacking operator that we can use to unpack any iterable into arguments. Okay? Pretty straightforward. Now, I also wanted to tell you about named arguments. Did you know that in any function call in Python, you can specify the name of the parameter that you're fulfilling with a given value? So you can say something like amount equals t0, name equals t1. This is totally valid Python. So you define the name of the argument, the name of the parameter and the argument value, and you put them an equal sign in the middle. That just makes the function call a bit more readable, so that when you're looking at the function, you know, okay, t0 is the amount, t1 is the name. It becomes a bit less useful if you have a statement above it that says something like amount equal t0, or let's use proper amount name equal t. This becomes a bit less useful, and then you have amount equal amount,